That's why Aokiji joined Blackbeard's crew. In this episode, we're gonna find out how an ex-Marine admiral ended up with this trashy lowlife. Plus, we've got 2 insane fights in the same episode that will have you on the edge of your seat. Episode 11-15 of One Piece kicks off with Blackbeard fuming because Aokiji turned all his men into popsicles. The old witch and Van Augur, not wanting to get caught in the crossfire, slipped away because things were about to get real. Teach throws a punch loaded with armament hockey, ready to wreck the whole place. He asks if Aokiji's all pissed off because of Akainu, and the Ice King starts freezing his drink while the lowlife was building up a cloud of smoke blacker than an old beater's exhaust. But 2 minutes later, they're cracking up and downing shots. Burgess calls for more booze, and the two are having a contest to see who can handle more liquor. Teach asks what Akainu said, and Kuzan stands up all pissed, saying, "2 comrades fighting to the death. I gotta admit, it makes my heart burn, but that's just because he's made of magma." But the ice cream man took such a beating that he lost a leg. People asked if he at least managed to take an arm off the volcano head, but you know how it is. Just getting close made ice cream start to melt. At least he left some scars behind. Speaking of scars, that old witch tells Blackbeard that the iceberg over there might know the man with the burn scar, but he had no clue what she was talking about. Jesus Burgess mentions that there are 4 road poneglyphs scattered across the world. Big Mom and Kaido each had one, but the bum squad hasn't been able to find the other 2, and rumors say one of them is with the famous man with the burn scar. And this guy is so mysterious that the Straw Hats only need his road poneglyph to gather them all and head to Laugh Tale. After hearing all that, Aokiji says, "Man with a burn scar? Might be me." But he had just gotten that scar from Akainu. Legend has it that this guy sails on a black, creepy ship, and anyone who gets close is swallowed by a giant whirlpool he creates. They think this guy has a devil fruit and works for the world government. And if that's true, everyone's screwed. Because if the last road poneglyph is with the government, they can crush the dreams of all pirates searching for the One Piece. So, Blackbeard asks if Aokiji knows anything, but he says he doesn't even like thinking about those poneglyphs, and he would definitely remember if he'd seen one of those red stones in O'Hara. The only thing he recalls is that his best friend rebelled against the government and the sad eyes of a little girl who lost everything. Then Burgess pipes up, "Get out of here with that depressing talk, man." Lafitte asks what they're going to do, because it'd be great to get their hands on that ice cream fruit, but Aokiji heard that and froze the whole place. Doc Q, Vasco Shot, Stronger, Pizarro, and even the brute Burgess. They turned into ice statues in 2 seconds flat. That nutcase Shirias says he's down to steal the devil fruit, so Kuzan whips up an ice storm and says, "Oh, if I wanted to, I would have already." But Teach tells him to stop and apologizes for what his idiot crew member said. What he really wanted to know was if the popsicle over there wanted to join his crew. Tweedledee and Tweedledum were like, "You've lost it, Captain. Did he freeze your brain too?" But now, Mr. Chill was unemployed, right? So Blackbeard asks him which side he's gonna choose. He says his sense of justice is different from those Marine scumbags, but Aokiji tells him to stop being an idiot. Does he really think he's gonna join the crew of a lowlife pirate just because they shared a few bottles of booze? But Teach tells him he doesn't know anything about pirates. They're not a bunch of buddies hanging out. The only thing that matters to them is mutual interest. Now Aokiji's free and can do whatever he wants, and that's exactly what he did. After remembering all the corruption he had to endure while following the government, he finally switched sides. Now, he was about to throw down with his former Marine mentor. Garp tells him to unfreeze Hibari, let Kobe escape, and come back to the Marine. Yeah, right. Anything else you want? Maybe a coffee and a to-go sandwich while I'm at it. Everyone's begging the Iceman, but he doesn't care. He says the old man hasn't changed at all and still says the first thing that pops into his head. Then he starts freezing the ground and creating another ice storm, saying he can't allow any of this to happen. So the old geezer tells Kobe to step back because it's time for the real fight. Kuzan says he respects Garp's way, but now he's living life his way, and no old man who just escaped the nursing home is gonna stop him. But it wasn't just the nursing home he busted out of. This guy blew up the asylum wall with the gate wide open, the biggest escapee from the loony bin, but he falls right into Aokiji's trap, who freezes the air and traps the old man's feet. He hurls an ice ball like a bowling ball to turn Garp into an iceberg. The Marines are freaking out while the scumbags are partying. Aokiji asks if Garp is willing to send his former student to hell just to save his beloved pupil, but the Vice Admiral tells him to stop being an idiot because he taught the kid not to live in the past, and he shatters that ice like it's nothing. Dodging the ice throw, he starts smashing everything in his path. Kuzan has to dodge his own ice boulders that the old man is deflecting while launching a bunch of snowballs at the grandpa. The old man pulls a Fortnite move and destroys the base of the tower to bring it all down at once. He camouflages in the smoke to catch Aokiji off guard. The ex-admiral tries to freeze the old man's arm, but he shatters it with Conqueror's Haki and hits him with a crazy blue hole, slamming Kazan into the ground like a meteor. He creates a crater in the ground, and the whole island starts shaking. Even though Aokiji tried to protect himself with ice, he falls into a hole so deep it looks like he got swallowed swallowed by a black hole. But to distract from the beating Popsicle Man is taking, let's check out what his boss is up to in the meantime. Over on Winter Island, Blackbeard was in rough shape, but he was laughing his head off. He had just humiliated Law and left him completely wrecked on the ground. Their submarine was dust, and they couldn't even call themselves pirates anymore. The bum said that the 100 pirates whose hearts lost old back at Rocky Port still get scared just hearing his name on Pirate Island. So if he brought Law's heart back, they'd be over the moon. Not to mention, they'd also get their hands on the kids Op No Me. Bepo was hanging on by a thread, but he had to save the captain no matter what. He grabbed a little bag with a rumble ball that Chopper made for him in case of emergencies. Teach was debating whether they should sell the Operation Fruit or use it for themselves, since it could give him eternal youth. Not to say anything, but it might be a bit late for you to want to be young again, buddy. He was about to extract the devil fruit from Law when Bepo transformed into a giant beast that would make even the devil tremble. With one swipe, he sent Burgess and Teach flying while Law just watched, completely baffled. The bum was asking how he could go Sulong when there wasn't even a moon. Van Augur fired 3 shots at the kid, but Bepo blocked them all with a giant chunk of mountain. Then the shooter bailed out of there, and Teach ended up taking the hit. He appeared behind the big bear but took some monstrous karate strikes and ended up on the other side of the island. Bepo ran over to check on the captain, but he couldn't stay in that form for long and collapsed. But he used all his strength to crawl toward the sea with Law. Law was begging him to go back because he couldn't leave his crew behind, but there was nothing they could do now. Bepo told the captain to trust them because they always find a way to escape. He dodged the rocks Burgess was hurling while telling Law not to turn into bacon, and that's how it ended. On Winter Island, the Heart Pirates' submarine sank, and Law's crew was completely defeated. But there's still hope, because in Kid's fight, he lost all his men, and everyone drowned. But here, Law was still conscious, and Bepo was alive, fighting to save him. So I believe in their comeback. And the episode ends. In the spoilers for episode 1116, the Great Buggy is about to reignite a huge dream he abandoned 24 years ago. He's going to use his title of Emperor through the Cross Guild, now that he's at the same level as Shanks. Okay, that's a stretch, but he's telling the whole world that he's going to be the new Pirate King. The title of the next episode is, Let's Get Him, Buggy's Grand Proclamation. And man, this episode was just insane. Drop a comment below on which fight you liked more. The first one between Aokiji and Garp, or the second where Bepo humiliated half of Blackbeard's crew by himself in just 30 seconds. But hold up, Aokiji isn't down yet. He just went to watch a season of Boku no Pico to learn how a true ice cream man should be, and he's already on his way back. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. Only 999,370 more to go, I believe. Thanks so much for watching until the end. I'm out of here. Peace.